By the end of today's video, you're going to have a whole list of exercises that are safe for you to do with your hip and knee arthritis. Spoiler alert, most exercises are safe, it's just how well you do them. We'll be going through sit-to-stands, step-ups, lunges, some hip work, and some quad and hamstring isolation movements. We'll be going through progressions and regressions for each exercise. And at the very end of the video, we're going to be talking about our pain rules to how to understand what is acceptable when exercising with hip and knee arthritis. The first exercise we have are sit-to-stands. To do a sit-to-stand well, you're going to be sitting at the edge of a seat and you're going to bring your heels back. You're going to be pushing down into the floor while leaning forward with your nose over your toes and then standing up tall. We really want to encourage the leaning forward, nose over toes to engage your glutes and the pushing down to engage your quads. You want to have a nice controlled descent. That is really important for activating the muscles and having good growth. When you're doing the sit-to-stands, you want to watch out for your knees coming in together on the way up and the way down. When your knees come in, this puts more pressure on the joint. This would make this a bad exercise. The exercise is completely safe as long as your knees don't come in. So push into the floor, nose over toes come up, have a nice controlled descent on the way down. You want to be doing sit-to-stands for 3 sets of 8 to 15 repetitions with a rest period of 30 to 60 seconds. When doing a sit-to-stand, you just want to make sure you're challenging yourself enough. Some regressions for sit-to-stands are you can raise the surface that you're on. Having a higher surface will make it a little bit easier to stand up and have a little bit less load on your knee and hip joints. But still getting the work, and then you can work to making it lower. Additionally, you can use a surface with armrest. Using a surface with armrest will help so you can use your arms to kind of give you that extra boost that you need and really help you get started. These are 2 really good regressions that you can use to find the right tolerance to start your sit-to-stands. Some progressions for your sit-to-stands is you can have a band around your legs. This will challenge you to have your knees in a better position throughout the exercise. Additionally, you can also start holding weight. Holding weight will increase the load of the muscles and bring more challenge. Then you can just start increasing the weight as you go along. Another progression is you can offset your legs, so having one leg closer back and one leg further. This is a good one to challenge one leg more than the other side. With all these versions of the sit-to-stand, you should be able to find one that's challenging but comfortable to start for your rehab. Next, we have the step-up, a really functional exercise because we'll often come across stairs in our life. To do this step-up well, it's all about the working leg pushing into the step and then controlling your coming back. You don't want to be cheating by coming off of your calves on the bottom leg. By pushing off the ground, you're defeating the purpose of the exercise. You really want to be pushing into the step to engage your glutes and to engage your quads as you come up to standing. You want to be doing step-ups for 2 to 3 sets of anywhere from 8 to 15 repetitions with 30 to 60 seconds rest in between sets. You'll be doing that for both sides, of course. To make step-ups easier, you can use hand support. This will help take a bit of the weight off of the leg to help bridge the gap of your strengthening. Additionally, you can lower the height of the surface that you're on. By having a lower surface, you have to push through a shorter range of motion, making this an easier exercise to begin tolerating. To make step-ups more challenging, you can stand sideways on the step and push up and really control the descent. Pushing up and controlling the descent really works that lengthening phase and challenges your muscles. Additionally, of course, you can also hold weight while you're doing the step up, or you can do a step up and through. Some different options to make it a little bit more active and engaged. Here we have step back lunges. This is a very important exercise as it challenges us to use our muscles with one leg working more than the other leg and maintaining our balance. This is really important to practice that knee control to avoid knee valgus. Knee valgus puts a lot of pressure on the knee joint and at the hip. So it's really important when you step back that your foot, knee, and hip are in the same vertical line. The stepping back leg is a kickstand working on your balance. The front leg is where the work is happening and you're pushing up through the front leg. When you're doing lunges, 2 to 3 sets, 8 to 15 repetitions per side with that 30 to 60 second break in between is really important. Lower reps with better form is the better recipe for success as you'll get more benefit from your muscles. To regress your lunges, you can step back using some hand support. Again, hand support will help with taking some of the weight off of the leg, and you can also control how deep you go back. Really just trying to work that comfortable range, not having to go all the way down to the ground, just staying where it's controllable and comfortable in your yellow zone for you. To make lunges more difficult, you can start to hold weight. On the opposite side will challenge your balance and your strength. On the same side works your strength and the balance as well. These next 2 exercises really challenge the muscles of our hips, which help orientate our hip and knee joint in that proper vertical alignment. You're going to be having a band anchored at ankle height, so you can put this around a sturdy table leg or the leg of a couch, standing with one leg in front of the band and then the working leg behind. You're going to stand tall and bring your legs straight out to the side. This is called hip abduction. This works your glute med and your glute min. The muscle is critical to maintaining your stability. It's important that you have the stance leg in front of the rubber band so you can target that glute med better. The other version is the hip adduction. So again, standing tall, this time you're going to spring the leg from outside across the front of your body. This works your adductors, your adductors, or your groin muscles. These are really important, again, for helping stabilize when you're hinging, lunging, doing sit-to-stands, and keeping your knee in that proper position. You might have guessed it, but to make this exercise easier, using some hand support to keep your balance, or changing the color of the band to be a lighter resistance. I just went down to a light band for this one. These are both really good ways to regress this exercise. To make it more difficult, however, you really just want to be doing a heavier resistance or more repetitions. You want to be doing 3 sets of 8 to 15 repetitions per side for both of these exercises. Now we have a hamstring curl. To do this well, we need the band anchored in front of us. The hamstring is the back of our thigh muscle. It's the one that bends our knee. When you have knee arthritis, it's going to be a bit difficult to get that full range. So it's important to work our hamstrings, as we often will avoid knee flexion or knee bending. To do this, 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 15 repetitions with that 30 to 60 second rest in between sets. To make it easier, you just want to reduce the tension of the band, and to make it more challenging, you want to increase the tension of the band. You can even pull it and hold for a 3 to 5 count to really get some of that extra contraction, or control the band coming out to get that lengthening phase to work it a little bit more difficult in that regard. Our last exercise here is the quad extension, an open chain exercise. Some people think training your quads or doing knee extensions is bad for your legs. It is not. It is important to train your quads this way as well. To do this well, you're going to have the band anchored behind you. Take the loop, stick your foot in the loop. This is the trick of the trade. Create a little figure 8 and then put your toes in the front little part of the loop. Now the band is secure and it won't go away. You're just going to straighten your knee and hold, and then control it back. You want to do this, you guessed it, for 2 to 3 sets, 8 to 15 repetitions per side for that 30 to 60 second rest period. To make this easier, pick a lighter band. To make it more challenging, pick a heavier band. This is going to train your thighs and your quads. You want to make sure that you're sitting up tall and that your core is engaged. If you're slouching and your core is not engaged, you can feel tightness in the hip. Sitting up tall, core engaged, really focusing on squeezing that thigh muscle. When exercising with hip and knee arthritis, it's important to know that pain is going to be part of the conditioning and part of your experience. What we want to be is in what we call the yellow zone of pain. So this can be a pain level that you would subjectively rate for yourself out of 10 between a 4 to a 6. If you're doing some exercises and you feel a 4 to 6 out of 10 pain, and then after the activity, your pain resolves in 4 to 6 hours to your baseline, then that's acceptable. For example, if I have a baseline pain walking around a 3 to 4 out of 10, I do some sit to stands and my pain goes up to a 6 out of 10, and then within a few hours, it goes back down to a 3 to 4 out of 10. That is an acceptable, safe amount of pain to have while exercising with hip and knee arthritis. What we don't want is you doing some exercises and your pain gets to an 8 or a 9 out of 10, and then you're flared up for 1 to 2 days. That is too unacceptable, so we want to dial it back. We don't want to stop the exercises. We want to use some regressions. So you're doing things to make the exercise a little bit easier and a little bit more tolerable so that you can adapt to the exercise. There we covered some progressions and regressions for all the various different exercises, and I laid out the foundation of the pain rules to help you understand how you can manage your exercise as well. In the next videos, we're going to be talking about what x-rays really mean with your arthritis and how adaptation really occurs with exercise. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment below of something that you'd be interested to see next. Tune in next time.